This video is going to show you how to make your engine mount. The materials you need for the engine mount, you're going to need an engine, you need a piece of gum tape the same length as the engine, a note card, masking tape, paper clip, and then you're going to need strips, 1/4 inch strips of gum tape. First thing that you're going to want to do, the engine is going to sit in the bottom and propel your rocket, and what you're going to end up doing is we're going to take the note card to hold that in place, and what you want to do then is take and roll this up, and I would suggest, again, like we did with the body tube, is that you use some glue at the beginning here, and we're not gluing the rocket engine in. These are reusable, so you can use the rocket again a different time. So we're going to get that glued on the outside there, and then I'm going to roll this over, and as I tuck that under, I can roll this out. Now at this point, because this cardboard is a little tough or stiff, we're going to just use some masking tape to hold that together. So make sure you keep it tight with the masking tape, and I would tape it in 2 different spots. Alright? Now, the rocket engine is going to come out. Well, what we want to do is we want to trim that again to the same size as the rocket engine. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut using the engine as a guide, and I'm going to cut around the top of that engine. Now once this is here, this is a little loose here, so we're going to take this gum tape and we're going to roll that around the engine mount. And using a sponge, making sure that's not too dry and not too wet. Get your gum tape wet and roll it over your engine. And at this point, again, you're going to want to trim that, so let's make sure it's the same size. Now, if we left the engine like this, the flames are going to come out of here and it's going to cause the thing to go on fire. So we need to have this engine stick out about 1/4 inch, and to do that we need to create a plug in the back end. So what we're going to do is you can use your pencil. In this case I have a dowel rod, and we're going to end up with these 1/4 inch strips. And to get the strips, I would cut maybe 6 to 8 inch pieces using the scissors, and then they don't have to be precise, but try to make them fairly similar, same size, so you get about 1/4 inch strip of gum tape. Once you get all your strips cut, the first one, again, we don't want to stick it to this, we want it to come out, so we want to put the gum side or the sticky side out. So we're going to wrap the side that will not stick to the stick on the inside. So I'm going to take this sponge, I'm going to get that wet, and I'm going to start wrapping this around this dowel. Okay. And again, the first roll is going to be the sticky side out. And the reason for that is that this has to be able to slide off of that. Okay, we're only using the dowel rod to hold it in place. So then the next couple, I'm going to start it with some water. I'm going to wrap that around, and I usually just take my sponge, run it like that, and then you can wrap it around. Now, the amount of material you need depends on each person, how tight they wrap it. If you do not get this tightly wrapped, what will happen is when you launch your rocket and this plug comes out, the engine's going to go up through the body of the rocket, and it's going to, one, your rocket won't take off, and 2, it's going to probably destroy your rocket, maybe catch it on fire. So you want to make sure you take care at this point to make sure that the rocket engine does not fly through the nose cone of your rocket. Okay. Now, the goal here is to get this big enough so that it fits inside of the engine mount. So as I wrap these around, I'm going to be checking every once in a while to see if it will fit inside of here. Okay, so I want it to have a nice tight fit inside of that. And again, that's so that it doesn't come out. So I'm going to keep wrapping. I probably got another 2 or 3 wraps here to go, and then I'll be able to glue that inside there. If you end up with too much material, you can always rip it off. This will take you a little bit of time to get this done. The better job you do now, the better your rocket's going to fly later. So now at this point, it fits pretty snug in there. So I'm going to stop there. And we don't need the engine in there at this point, but this is going to fit inside of here. Okay, and that fits pretty snug. The reason we have a hole in the middle is so that the engine is actually going to exhaust out through the back here. If it's clogged up, then it could cause it to catch on fire. Now, the way I want to put this in here is I'm going to use glue. And I'm just going to put some glue along the outside edge of this piece here. This is the plug. So I've glued all the way around it. And I'm just going to take this, the engine mount, and I'm going to slide it in so it's even on the top. And then you can wipe the glue off there. Okay, so now I've got my plug in. And when I put my engine in, it's going to stop the engine. So it's the engine stop. That's as far as it goes. So it won't burn down here, and that's also the propulsion that's going to shoot the engine up.